Hello, Shabbath Shalowm. Reading a selection of different songs, or songs, known as Psalms or Tehillim, the pre-Advent canonical collection of songs from various authors. Melodic Songs is a true translation to English of Mizmorah, Mizmorowth, whereas Psalms is an anglicised transliteration of a translation of this common noun to Greek, and Tehillim is Hebrew and not the word which we found to be the name of this collection. So we're going to be reading 3 Psalms with you. One's very long, one's short, and one's middle length. So we've got Psalms 23, a song of David. Yahweh is the one tending me, I shall not lack anything. In meadows of green grass he causes me to settle down. Excuse me. He guides me over to the waters of a resting place. My life, Nefesh, he brings back. He guides me into the furrowed paths of righteousness on account of his name. Even as I walk in the valley of the death shadow, I will not fear evil because you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they are what comfort me. You arrange before me a table in front of my oppressors. You thoroughly anoint my head with oil. Your cup is the best from which to become drunk. Indeed, goodness and kindness, they shall follow closely after me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Yahweh for the length of the days. Songs 109, verses 1 to 31. The numbers turned out bad here when I was sharing for some reason, so just ignore the numbers. So Yahweh Yehushua's prayer against the traitor and his people. For the conductor, a melody song of David. O power, of my boastful praise, let it not be engraved. Because the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are against me. They have opened it up, they have dictated of me the language of the lie. So words of hatred have they brought around me, and they have waged war against me without cause. In return for my love, they are my adversaries, for I pray. And they rewarded me evil for goodness, and hatred for my love. Appoint a criminal over him, Yehuphah, or Judas, and let Satan stand at his right hand. Excuse me. During his trial let him emerge condemned, and may his prayer become for a condemnation. Let his days be a few ones, let another take his positions of charge. Seen in Deeds 120. Let his children be fatherless, and his wife be a widow, and let his children surely be wandering beggars. Let them be driven for their ruins. Let the lender seize all that he has, and let foreigners plunder the products of his labour. Let there not exist for him a one extending a kindness. Let there not exist a one having pity on his fatherless one. Ezekiel 46:16-18. Let his descendants be cut off from the next generation, O Yehuphah, Judaism. Let the depravity of his fathers be remembered to Yahweh, and the sin of his mother never be erased. May they be before Yahweh continually, so from the earth. For the fact that he did not call to work kindness, but he pursued the man who was afflicted and needy and broken-hearted to kill him. And he loved the curse, so let it come on him. And he did not find pleasure in blessing, so let it be removed from him. And he put on a curse as his garment, and it came like the waters into his body, and like the oil into his bones. Let it be for him like clothing, and like a belt he binds on continuously. This is the wages of my adversary from Yahweh, and of the ones dictating evil against myself. So you, Yahweh, my sovereign, work me on account of your name. Rescue me because your kindness is goodness. Because I am one who is afflicted and needy in my heart. It was pierced in my insides. Zechariah 12:10 and Yachanan Glad Tidings 19:34-37 and Disclosure 1:7. Disclosure As Revelation, Zechariah, I think it's Jeremiah. Memory? So anyway, continued on. Like a shadow, when day declines, I have gone away. I have been shaken off like an insect. My blessing they have faltered due to having the mouth covered over, and my glad tidings are denied from growing robust. So I am who has become a reproach for them. Glad tidings of Keph, 726, Shakahan's Glad Tidings 2019. They see me, they shake their heads, Madiyahu 2739. Help me, Yahweh, my power, Elil. Save me according to your kindness. Excuse me. And they shall recognize that the one is your hand. You are Yahweh who has worked it. Verse 21. They will, seen also verse 21. They will trivialize it, but you are who will bless it. They who insurrect, who shall be shamed. But your servant is who shall rejoice. My shall be clothed with ignominy, and their shame shall wrap them up like a robe. I shall openly and joyfully acknowledge Yahweh, exceeding with my mouth, and in the midst of multitudes I shall boastfully praise him, because he took a stand at the right hand of the one needing help, to save from one's condemning self. Footnotes from Songs 109, which we've just been reading. There was a Strong's 1288, not a 1290, knees, a difference only of hour points. 1319, not 1320, flesh, a difference of only hour points. Strong's 8080, not 8081, fat. In the Masoretic, this appears as plural Elohim, but as Yahushua is speaking, this must have been signified to refer to his own power, the Father. Songs 22:1. Excuse me. Verse 1 and 89:26. Oh, so Songs 22:1 and 89:26. The trader had the same altered name as the tribe which altered the name to avoid mentioning Yahweh's name, and they followed his same example, making him their leader. As their name itself continues a violation of the third commandment, and all the works of the adversary will be undone, there is no place in the clean future to come for such a name. The bold type statements here and in verse 13 were used by the very people this song speaks of. As an acronym for a false name, they apply Yahushua, YSHW, which means may his name and memory be blotted out. But it is their name which this speaks of. In the Masoretic, this appears as plural Elohim, but as Yahushua is speaking, this must have been singular to refer to his own power, the Father. Now, Songs 119, verses 1 to 176, and ignore the numbers, they're out of whack again. So basically praise ye Yahu, or Hallelujah. The happy blessings of the one, looks like this is a point. Oh, it's got A next to it, I'm not sure why. The happy blessings of the one being sound of the way, the one walking by the instructions of Yahweh. The happy blessings of the one diligently investigating his testimonies, who diligently seek him with all one's heart. Moreover, they who walk in his way do not make an evil distortion, lawlessness. You are who commissioned your charges to be kept. Verse 138. Oh, if only my ways were firmly established to observe your prescriptions, then I would not be ashamed when I make myself look at all of your commandments. Excuse me once again. I shall profess you with uprightness of heart when I am to learn the procedures of your justification. With your prescriptions I will keep it. Do not forsake me for excess. By what means can a youth make clean his path? Keeping your word, Yahushua, Disclosures 19:13, safely preserved. With all of my heart I have carefully sought you. Do not let me be misled astray from your commandments. In my heart I have treasured up your word, in order that I may not sin against you. Blessed are you, Yahweh. Teach me your prescriptions. With my speech I have recited all of the ordinances of your mouth. With the way of your testimonies I have rejoiced like over all riches. On your charges, verse 138, I will ponder and I will perceive your ways. In your prescriptions I delight myself, I will not forget your word. Recompress your servant, I will live and I will keep your word. Uncover my eyes so I may perceive the things which are extraordinary from your instruction. Ephesians 1:17. A sojourner am I on the earth. Do not let your commandments be hidden from me. My animus, the nefesh, is broken up, for it is longing for you just determinations during every occasion. You have rebuked the insolent ones. Cursed are the ones who are staying from your commandments. 5 Moshe 27-26. Roll away from upon me reproach and contempt, because I have guarded with fidelity your testimonies. Indeed, even princes have sat down against me and dictated it reproach and contempt, verse 22, with one another. But your servant but your servant was who pondered your prescriptions. Moreover, your testimonies are my delights, and your prescriptions are my advisers. Cause me to understand the way of your charges, so I ponder on your marvel. Myself, the nefesh, has wept tears from grief. Confirm me like your word. Put the way of the lie away from me, and away from your instructions favour me. I have chosen the way of truth. I have set in me your procedures. I have held fast to your testimonies, Yahweh. Do not let me be shamed. I run the way of your commandments, because you have unconfined my heart. Proverbs 18:16 and Galatians 4:8-9. Yahweh, point out the way of your charges, and I will guard it with fidelity from supplanting. Cause me to understand it. I will guard your instructions with fidelity, and I will keep it the way with all my heart. Cause me to tread in the pathway of your commands, because I delight in it. The pathway, brackets N. Turn my heart towards your testimonies and not towards unjust gain. Cause my eyes to pass by from regarding a useless thing by your way. Make me alive. Cause your saying to stand for your servant, which is for your reverence. To cause my reproach, which I dread, to pass by, because your ordinances are beneficial ones. Look, I have longed for your charges. Make me alive with your justification. Excuse me. And let your kindness come upon me, Yahweh, your salvation according to your saying, Romans 10:9-10. So I can answer the ones reproaching me a fact, because I trust in your word. And do not cause the word of the truth to be snatched away from my mouth. Example, Shanopa 69:1-2, because I have waited in hope for your rectitude. So I have kept your instructions continuously for eternity, and the testimony. So I walk about at large, unconfined, because I have diligently sought out your charges, Galatians 4:8-9. And I have dictated by your testimonies near kings, and I have not been put to shame. Thus I have delighted myself in your commands, which I love, and I have raised my palms towards your commands, which I love, when I studied your charges. Remember your word for your servant, concerning which you have made me wait in hope. This is my comfort during my affliction, the saying of yours, which made me alive. Insolent ones are they who have mocked the testimony exceedingly, but from your instructions I have not turned. I remember your judgment decisions from iniquity, Yahweh, and I comforted myself. Burning rage had grasped me due to the criminals who forsake your instructions. Praise songs are what your charges have meant for me in the house of my sojourning. During the night I have remembered your name, Yahweh, so I have kept your instruction. 1 Yaakov 3:23. This instruction has become for me because I guard your charges with fidelity. My portion is Yahweh, I said, guarding your instructions. I have retained your face with all my heart. Favour me according to your word. Compare Romans 1:28. I have reckoned your ways, so I have brought back your steps towards your testimonies. I had buried, and I had not delayed to keep your commands. The bindings for the criminals had involved me. Romans 4:15, 5:20, Galatians 3:19, 4:8-9. Through your instruction I had not forgotten. At midnight I get up to give thanks to you about the procedures of your justification. I'm a peer for everyone who revered you, and the ones keeping your charges. Your kindness, Yahweh, has filled the earth. Teach me your prescriptions. Yahweh, you have worked goodness with your servant, like in brackets, with your word. Teach me goodness and cultivation and knowledge, because I have stood firm by your commands. Before I was afflicted, I was one going astray, but now I keep your word safely protected. Your goodness, and the one doing goodness. Matthew 19:16-17, Hebrews 9:11. Teach me your prescriptions. The insolent have spread a lie about me, but I have with all my heart guarded your charges with fidelity. Their heart is thick-headed, like lard. I am who takes delight in your instructions. Excuse me. It was beneficial for me that I was afflicted, in brackets for his name, 116:10, in order that I would learn your prescriptions. The instructions of your mouth are better for me than thousands of gold or silver. Your hands are what made me, so they have established me. Give me understanding, so I might learn your commandments. One fearing you are who regard me, and they rejoice because I wait in hope for your word. Excuse me. I recognize, Yahweh, that your the anointed Yahushua, your word, the anointed Yahushua. I recognize, Yahweh, that your procedure is justified, and, in brackets for fidelity, you afflicted me. Let your kindness now become for my consoling, according to your saying for your servant. Let your compassions come to me, so I may live, because your instructions are my delights. Let the insolent ones be shamed because of a lie. They made me crooked, but I am who did study into your charges. Let the ones revering you return to me, and the ones acknowledging your testimonies. Let my heart become intact by your prescriptions, in order that I may not be ashamed. My life nefesh has been made complete for your deliverance. For your word I have waited in hope. My vision source has been made complete for your saying, when will you console me? Yahushua Lakot 2:25. Because I have become like a wineskin in the ice. I have not forgotten your prescriptions. How many remain of the days of your servant? When will you execute for me the judgment decision against the ones persecuting me? They have concluded against me studies of transgressions, which are not according to your instructions, Yahweh. Every commandment of yours of fidelity become a lie, for which they persecute me. Help me, because they have utmost put an end to me on the earth, though I had not forsaken your charges. According to your kindness, preserve me alive, so I may keep your testimony of your mouth preserved. For in eternity, Yahweh, your word has stationed himself in the heavens. Your fidelity is for generation after generation. You did not set up the earth, and it stands. Of your decisions they stand today, like all the servants of yours. If your instructions were my delights, at that moment I would have perished by my affliction. For eternity I would not forget your charges, because by them you have made me live. I am yours, save me, because I did certainly study your charges. The criminals have lain in wait for me to make me vanish. The testimonies consider diligently. I have discerned an end point for all the law to be accomplished. Yochanan Glad Tidings 1930. Your commandment is exceedingly unconfining. 1 Yochanan 3:23. How I love your instruction all day long is the object of my study. My study, verse 97, has made me more wise of your testimony than my enemies, because it, in brackets your testimony, is mine for eternity. I have insight more than all of the teachers, because your commandments are the object of my study. More diligently considered, I demonstrate to the elders, because I keep your charges with fidelity. From every path of evil I withhold my feet, on account that I heed your word. From your rectitude I did not depart, because you are who taught me. How agreeably smooth to my taste are the sayings, more than honey to my mouth. From your charges I have been given understanding, therefore I have hated every path of the lie. Your word is a lamp for my foot, and a light for my pathway. Matthew 6:22-23. I took an oath, and I fulfilled to faithfully keep the procedure of your justification. I shall surely be exceedingly afflicted, Yahweh. Make me live your word. Accept now, Yahweh, the voluntary offering of my mouth, verse 106, and teach me your rectitude. My life nefesh is continually in your palm, so I will not cease to care about your instructions. The criminals have devoted a bird trap for me, though I have not stayed from your charges. I have assumed position of your testimonies for eternity because they are the joy of my heart. I have reached out my heart to perform your prescriptions for eternity more than supplanting. Ambivalent ones, prescriptions, prescriptions, I hate as it your instructions I love. You are my shelter and my protection. I have waited in hope for your word. Depart from me, one causing evil, so I may keep the commandment of my mighty ones. Yeshayahu 23:38. Excuse me. Support me according to your fidelity, and I shall live, and do not let me put to shame due to my hope. Sustain it of me, so I shall be liberated, and I shall study into your prescriptions continually. You regard with contempt all the ones rebelling against your prescriptions, because a lie is their treachery. Backsliders are with the withdrawals of all the criminals of the earth. Therefore I love your testimonies. 125, 5:1 in Yokohama, 2:19 and 4:1-3. My flesh has bristled up from the dread of you, and from your judgment have I stood in awe. I've worked rectitude and justification. You will not let me rest for the ones pursuing me. Pledge your servant for goodness. Do not let the insolent ones pursue me. My eyes have been spent, looking for your deliverance, and for the saying of your justifications. Romans 10:9-10. Work it, your justification, verse 123, in brackets, with your servant according to your kindness, and teach me prescriptions. I'm your servant. I think it's meant to be servant. I am your servant. Cause me to discern him, so I may recognize your testimonies. A time period of Yahweh to work it is, when they cause your instructions to be made void through their traditions. Malachi 15:6-9. Therefore have I loved your commandments more than gold, and more than pure gold. Due to this all of your charges are all I esteem correct. Every path of lie have I hated. Testimony of yours are wonders. Due to this myself, Nefesh, has guarded them faithfully. The entrance of your words is what illuminates, giving discernment for the naive. I have gaped over my mouth, and I have gasped because I have longed for your commandment. Turn and look towards me, and show favour to me according to the legal privilege for the ones who love your name. Direct my footsteps with your saying, Romans 10:9-10, and do not let any wicked trouble, in brackets lawlessness, get mastery within me. Ransom me from the extortion of man, so I may keep your charges. Shine your face on your servant, and teach me your prescriptions. Rivulets of tears descend from my eyes over how they do not observe your instructions. Amen. That's just me saying it. Justified are you, Yahweh, and upright ones are your judgments. You have charged the justification of your testimonies and much fidelity. My burning zeal has cut me off because my oppressors have ceased to care about your words. Your sayings, Romans 10:9-10, is being thoroughly tested and proven true, and your servant is who loves it. I who am a small insignificant one, and one who is despised, I do not forget your charges. Your justification is righteousness, your eternity and your instructions are true. Straits and distress had found me, your commandments are my delights. The justification of your testimonies is for eternity. Cause me to discern him, so I may live. I have called on you, save me, so I may keep your testimonies preserved. I have come to meet you with morning. I have come to meet you with morning, twilight, and I cry for help. For your word I have hoped. My eyes have entered daybreak to study on your saying, Romans 10:9-10. Head my voice according to your kindness, Yahweh, according to your procedures, make me alive. Those who have pursued wicked schemes have approached, but they have distanced themselves from your instructions. Near are you, Yahweh, and all of your commandments are true. Long ago I knew from your testimonies that you did establish them for eternity. See my affliction and rescue me, because I do not forget your instruction. Argue my legal case, and act as a kinsman redeemer for your saying. Make me alive. Distant from the criminals is salvation, because they have not investigated your prescriptions. Numerous are your compassions, Yahweh, according to your legal process. Make me alive. My persecutors are also numerous, and my oppressors I have not turned aside from your testimonies. I have seen the betrayers, and I have loathed that they have not retained your saying. Romans 10:19. See it yourself, because I do love your charges, Yahweh, according to your kindness. Make me live. The head of your word is truth. Yahweh's glad tidings for me and Sanina, 1 Corinthians 11:3. And all the legal procedures of your justification are for eternity. Rulers have pursued me undeservedly, but it is from your word my heart has been in awe. I am the one who is rejoicing over your saying, like one finding abundant plundered treasure. Yahoo 11:12 and 13:44. The lie have I hated, and I have regarded it as an abomination. I love your instructions. 7 times in a day I boastfully praise you concerning the procedures of your justification. Abundant Shalom, which means peace, completeness or reconciliation, belongs to the ones loving your instruction, so there is no means of stumbling for them. I have been expected for your salvation, Yahweh, so I have accomplished your commandments. Having myself retained your testimonies, so I have loved them exceedingly. I have retained your charges and your testimonies, because all my ways are before you. Let my ringing cry of entreaty approach before you, Yahweh. Cause me to understand according to your word. Let my supplication for favour enter before you. Cause me to be snatched away like you're saying. Shinoka 69, 1 or 2. My speech will pour out praise songs as you teach me your prescriptions. My language will testify your sayings because of all your commandments of righteousness. Let your hand become for my helper, because I choose your charges. I have longed for your salvation, Yahweh, and your instructions are my delight. Let my life, Nefesh, live so it may boastfully praise you, and your applications of justice are what will help me. I have wandered off like a sheep astray. Seek to secure your servant, because I have not forgotten your commandments. Footnotes for Songs 119. Both covenants old and new are procedures for his justification. He was the only one to fulfill the old covenant, making it his, and with his being justified, he extended us his new covenant, because it outlaws the lie, prohibiting false names and false images and alterations of his name. One question. I called out with all my heart, answer me, Yahweh, I did keep your prescriptions. False names are titles, Songs 6117, not 6118, a difference of mere vowel pointing. The more than restored from LXX Strong's 1223 D, which most likely reflects the scribal omission of an, you see the symbol in the post above. Masoretic has here Strong's 7673, cause to cease, which LXX reads differently as 2803 reckoned, but we read it as Strong's 7729. Logically, scripturally, this term not transposed with commandments in verse 99 at some point before the translation of LXX, and the reference to it as singular led us to correct it to singular. Logically, scripturally, the term got transposed with testimonies in verse 98 at some point before the translations of LXX. LXX shows Strong 7140 was here, whereas Masoretic put 7008 smoke. As ice and smoke are methods of preservation, this is likely a scribal interpretation revision, but ice preserved the contents, whereas smoke the bottle itself. LXX shows here Greek Strong's 1334, so this was originally Strong's 3615, not 3738. Exaggerated mistakenly for dirt instead of dirt. It shows the symbols under this page, on this page above this video. Show the term here was Strong 7881, not 7882. Pitfalls, the difference of vowels, and it shows here, and it shows that Yahweh Yahushua webpage, where this is all at. I'll put a link in the description below so you can actually get to this article and read and look at these different symbols. Shows the term usually occurring, say the Strong 6588, where a Masoretic scribe substituted 2086 insolent ones, possibly to attempt to make sense of their other two errors in this verse. Shows LXX shows no ME here, which is The Masoretic changed this to mocked me, and testimony Strong's 5707 here again was mistakenly written as 5704, even unto, merely by mistaken vowel pointing, also misread in LXX. In other words, which you changed us, it's seen twice there. Strong 6117, not 6118, a difference in mere vowel pointing, the form restored from LXX there, which most likely reflects a scribe or omission of an, and you can see the symbol. Strong 5707, here again mistakenly written as 5703, ever, perpetually, merely by a mistaken vowel pointing, also misread in LXX. My life nefesh was cleaved to the dust, make me alive like your word. I had declared my ways and you responded to me, teach me your prescriptions. LXX reveals Masoretic scribes inserting according to here to promote legalism by misleading one to think his word refers to commandments and not to Yahushua's name. Masoretic substitutes here your sayings, but LXX used the term used to translate word, but the context of verse 9 content settles this question. Masoretic has here keep watch of Strong's 5341. This refers to those waiting for his anointed, referred to here as Yahweh. The verse still applies to us awaiting his return. Shabbath Shalowm, everyone. May you be blessed, and I hope you enjoyed these 3 lots of scriptures with footnotes. May you have a good day, and Shalom.